station of Fox Sports.
We are the fourth. We are Minnesota.
Game of a 7-game road trip for the Twins, and they're hoping to head home with a win today, which would also mean a series win against the Astros. Kyle Gibson gets the ball for the Twins. He's hoping to rebound from not so much a rough outing, but a rough inning plus in Oakland. For Houston, it's lefty Brett Oberholzer, who's 4-7 with a 4.05 ERA this season, and he's gone at least 6 innings in 10 consecutive starts. Good afternoon from Minute Maid Park. I'm Marnie Gellner. The Twins had a late inning rally last night, scoring 3 runs at the top of the 9th inning. It was too little too late, but it did have some significance to it. Kenneth Vargas hit his second career home run. Oswaldo Arcia hit his second home run of the game. Arcia homered in the 2nd inning to right field right there. He also homered in the 9th to left field. It was the first time in his career that Arcia has had a multi-home run game. He hadn't played either since Friday because of a sore back, and today hitting coach Tom Brunansky said that injury might actually help Arcia.
He's starting to tone down his swing. I mean, part of the injury was caused because he swung so hard that one at bat. And when we go into our cage and we do our drill work, he goes from 0 to 100 right then. And I said, we'll gradually work into that. And to back off, and maybe he was swinging 70, 80, 90% last night. But as I was telling Gardy, I said, we both looked at each other and said, that could be a good thing. And obviously it was.
Arcia now has 10 home runs this season. The homer he hit in the 9th to left field was just the 4th time he's ever put a ball into the left field seats in his career. Coming up, Kyle Gibson gets the start for Minnesota. We'll preview the pitching matchup with Dick and Jack coming up next.
Presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by Jeep. Hurry in and get a great deal during the Jeep Summer Clearance event.
It's the final meeting this year between the Twins and the Astros. We are indoors at Minute Maid Park because of the heat and humidity outside. Joe Mauer enjoying his return to the lineup, having extended his hitting streak now to 14 games. And the Twins today, Kyle Gibson in particular, will try to keep Chris Carter and the Astros in the yard. Carter with 3 home runs in this series already, and 15 of them since the beginning of July. And we welcome you to Minute Maid Park. Dick Bramer, Jack Morris for the final game of this road trip, final game of this series. Kyle Gibson making his second start of this road trip, and we've seen Kyle pitch very well, and then some other starts not so well. His last start kind of a mix of both, but a very good outing against Houston earlier this year.
Early in the year, he pitched well. He did win the one game at Target Field against the Astros, and Kyle had it all working that day. He had a good sinker. We're going to see some of his pitches. Good slider there. There's the sinker that he's so effective with when he can keep the ball down. It doesn't flatten out. And then he helped himself later in the game with a great fielding play of his own. Here we get to see that. Certainly helped his own cause right there. But Kyle needs to just do what he's done in his good games, and that's attack the strike zone. Don't try to nibble so much. Keep the ball down, and then be careful with their power guys, Chris Carter in particular.
Like the Twins, the Astros are looking for young, quality starting pitching. Brett Oberholzer may have turned a corner for Houston.
Well, he's the guy that I think the Astros are pretty proud of. In his last 10 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings, and that's something that everybody wants out of their starters. Give him a chance, turn it over to the bullpen late. He's got a fastball that he needs to locate in. He's much more effective when he can throw that fastball in. It opens up the outside corner for his breaking ball.
Twins hope to finish a road trip with a series win against the Houston Astros and a series split in the season series. It's been hit and miss for both teams in this series, with a lot of home runs clubbed out of the ballpark. In Oakland, and so far just once in Houston. And Ron Gardenhire hoping that as his pitching staff improves, he hopes the one-loss record in the balance of the 2014 season will get better. Not a good start last night for the Twins, hence a loss. Here's the Menards batting order. for the final game of this 3-game series. Danny Santana followed by Brian Dozier. Joe Mauer's hit the ball very hard in this series. Kenny Vargas, Trevor Plouffe, Eduardo Nunez, Oswaldo Arcia, Eric Fryer, and Eduardo Escobar.
And the Twins will be facing left-hander Brett Oberholzer. He's making his 17th start and appearance this year for the Astros. You see he's got some pretty decent numbers, especially lately. He's pitched extremely well in his last 3 starts. Here's a guy that from the left side, he has to locate in both right-handers and the left-handers. That opens up the outside corner for him. We'll see how that does and works out for him today.
Northland Ford defense for the Astros. Robbie Grossman is in left field today. Dexter Fowler back in the lineup. And in center, Jake Marisnik is in right. Matt Dominguez, Marwin Gonzalez, the left side of the infield. Jose Altuve, John Singleton, the right side. And Carlos Corporon doing the catching. Danny Santana in the box to get things started. There's Fowler. Been on the disabled list. The entire starting outfield for the Astros was on the disabled list, but now they welcome Fowler back. With James Hoy behind the plate, we're underway, and Santana takes ball 1. Santana, Dozier, and Mauer in the Twins first. Foul back, 1-1. Holzer, as we showed you, has done well as of late. The Astros are playing better baseball, particularly at home. Santana takes up and away. Foul back, 2-2. So important for the Twins to use their speed, and it's not as speedy a lineup, although Nunez runs well. He's the left fielder rather than Schaefer, who's having a tough time against left-handed pitching. 2-2 to the leadoff man, and now inside a full count. Dozier on deck.
There you see Oberholzer trying to locate that four-seam fastball inside, establish it early in the game.
Driven foul by about 3 feet.
And there you see Danny Santana and what makes him, in my opinion, such a good hitter. Just quiet. Doesn't really ever give a pitcher any indication what he's trying to do with his lower body. And for pitchers, that's a lot of times how we read a hitter, is what they're doing with their hips, how they open up with their legs. Danny's just so quiet with his lower body, just barely takes a step, uses his hands, and throws the bat at the ball.
Ball back. There have been strikeouts, to be sure, but I guess even when striking out, we've seen at bats like this where Santana sees a lot of pitches. 231 at bats and 49 strikeouts. So more than 1 every 5 at bats. And a chopper right side, scooped up by Singleton to the bag, 1 away. And that'll bring up Dozier.
Well, you bring up a good point about your leadoff hitter. Managers love to have a leadoff man be able to take a lot of pitches, get deep into counts early in the game, and it gives everybody on the bench a chance to see maybe the whole kitchen sink from the starting pitcher. A lot of times in today's game, they just don't rely on one pitch early. They'll show everything, and that is an advantage for your team to see the pitches.
Here's Dozier. Strike. Two strikes. Dozier's batting average seems to have hit a plateau in the 230, 240 range, and he'd like to break through that, finish at 250 or above. Would round out what has been a very good year for Brian. But he would tell you, too, his batting average is down too low for his satisfaction. 2 strikes from Oberholzer. And a strikeout.
There's that fastball again. The four-seamer inside kind of ties up Brian. I think he was trying to look the other way a little bit more in that at bat. But you're absolutely right about Brian Dozier. When he starts hitting the ball more to the right side, he's going to probably gain a few points in his batting average. He's so pull happy, and he's very, very quick on the inner half. That's what he loves to do, is pull the ball. But you've got to open up the whole field, and that opens up the defense and you find more holes.
And then there's Mauer hitting behind him, who's the master of the opposite field hit. Makes a fastball down the middle of strike, pulled a base hit to right field in his first at bat last night to extend his hitting streak to 14 games.
Well, Dick, you've seen his whole career as a broadcaster, and I think Joe has probably had more balls taken away from him to left field this year than ever before. The league is starting to understand that he prefers more than anything to go that way, and they're starting to play him that way.
Outside 2-1. Seems as shifts have become more popular, Joe being shifted more in the outfield than the infield. And you're right, he's had a lot of balls taken away in that left field corner that used to be doubles, and so he splits the seam between the shortstop and third baseman with a line drive, and now it's a 15-game hitting streak.
Vintage Joe Mauer right there, finds the hole. The 5.5 hole, that's what
Tony
Gwynn used to call it.
I don't know, and you played with Brian Harper. Brian was really good with 2 strikes, but I don't know that I've ever seen a hitter for the Twins or anybody else who's as comfortable with 2 strikes. And I say that even though Joe has struck out a lot more this year than he has in other years, but he just seems so comfortable with 2 strikes. Here's Vargas fouling one off of Corporon. So you tell me, have you ever seen anybody who is as good as Joe is with 2 strikes?
Maybe one guy, Wade Boggs, because he was a lot like Joe. He would take strike one every single time for years. Never even offered at the first pitch. He wanted to put the pitcher in the hole by having you throw a ball.
What a blessing it must be to stand up there with 2 strikes and feel comfortable and feel like it's almost in your advantage to be up there with 2 strikes. Checked his swing, we think. No appeal, 1-1.
Well, think about it. A lot of pitchers, especially young pitchers, can throw their best pitch with 1 strike. And they get 2 strikes and they want to throw an even better one, and that's when they make mistakes. It's because they're trying to do more than they're supposed to do.
Driven to left field, a sharp single for Vargas. Mauer will round second and head for third, taking advantage of Grossman fielding it in left center, as he had to, because Vargas drove that ball hard toward the gap, first and third.
Now that ball was your basic base hit that just carried further on this grass. The left fielder, Robbie Grossman, had to run to get it. Had Vargas been the kind of guy out of the box like Eduardo Nunez or maybe Jordan Schaefer, he might have been able to get to second base.
And now Plouffe. Twins have strung together a couple of 2-out hits.
We've only seen a sample size of Kenny Vargas, but what I've seen so far, it seems to me like he's more consistent right-handed.
Hopped up down the right field line, chased by Altuve, and it's the right fielder Marisnick who makes the catch, stranding 2 runners in the first. getting, for the most part, better pitching. Some of the hitters starting to mature a little bit. Here is Bo Porter's Menard's batting order. Robbie Grossman, Jose Altuve, Chris Carter, Dexter Fowler, welcome back to the lineup. John Singleton, Carlos Corporon, Matt Dominguez, Jake Marisnick, and Marwin Gonzalez.
They'll be facing Twins right-hander Kyle Gibson, making his 23rd start. In his last start, it was all fives. Fives were wild. 5 earned runs on 5 hits and 5 walks and 5 innings pitched. And his first time since July 9th, he didn't get into the 6th inning. So he's going to try to make sure he doesn't do that today and get deeper into the game.
It was an odd start for Gibson because we've made great mention of Gibson's starts and how they've been either really good or really bad, and the really bad ones are bad from the start. To the right side and through a base hit. Grossman aboard with a leadoff single. Take a look at the Twins out in the field. Brought to you by Northland Ford. Eduardo Nunez getting a start in the outfield. Danny Santana in center, Oswaldo Arcia in right. Kloof, Escobar, Dozier, Mauer, and Eric Fryer behind the plate. Gibson against the A's started out great with the 4 shutout innings, and it looked like it was going to be his 9th start, where he had given the Twins 6 shutout innings or more. But then all of a sudden he lost his control. He walked 4 out of 9 guys. There were a few hits mixed in, and by the time his day was done, he'd given up 6 earned runs. Dug out by Fryer, and straying a bit too far was Grossman, but he got back. So what happened, I don't know, but it was the type of outing Gibson's had, only in the very early innings rather than in the middle innings.
I think he was getting by, maybe not as sharp as he's been on those really, really good days, but he was getting by, and then all of a sudden he hit a little bump in the road and wasn't able to get through the bump. A couple times he has been. In the start before that, I think he had a 3-run inning and was able to get back into it and pitch another couple innings after that without incident. But in the Oakland game, it just started getting bad and it got worse, and before he knew it, he was in the showers.
1-0. Chopper. Kloof has one play throwing on the run, and he gets Altuve, and Grossman advances to second. And that'll bring up slugger Chris Carter in this series already. A solo home run, a 2-run home run, and a 3-run home run.
See, all these pitches are out over the plate, down in the zone for the most part. That's exactly where he wants the ball. He is a big, strong guy, and he's got very good bat speed, strong hands. And if he can extend those arms and get the head of the bat on the ball away from him, he can pull it into the left field stands with ease.
Same fan ended up with both home run balls last night. Strike over the inside corner, and I'll bet the Mall of America scouting report how to pitch Carter somewhere in there is don't throw it down the middle of the plate.
Well, it's pretty obvious, but we're going to talk about it anyway. It's got to keep a sinker down and in, and use his 4-seam fastball up in the zone. This is a guy that's basically a low ball hitter. You can tie him up and in, and you can have him expand the zone. He will chase when you're ahead with breaking balls down, but he's also one of those guys that he just likes the ball down, middle half in, middle half down. And if you get ahead, you can bounce the ball away. He'll chase. He's shown that many, many times. He's a big strikeout guy, but he's also strong, so you've got to be careful over the middle.
2 strikes to Carter. That's to left. And Nunez plays it on a hop. I thought that ball was going to be caught. And a single to left with the runner at second. Thinking what I was thinking, that Nunez was going to make a catch on that ball. So a 2-strike hit for Carter off the end of the bat.
I don't think it was a case where the ball carried that much, but Nunez kind of froze the ball. I'm sure had he really got on his horse right off the initial reaction, he would have been able to catch that, but ball seemed like it was just served into left field. Little lob.
And now Dexter Fowler hitting cleanup for the first time this year. Just off the disabled list, and he's up with 2 men aboard and 1 out. Down and in, ball 1. Middle infielders shortening up a little bit, hoping to get a ground ball double play. That's hit to center. Santana with the catch out, number 2. 2 on, 2 out. Same situation the Twins had in their first inning, and now John Singleton. Singleton hitting 5th with a sub-200 batting average.
Here's another classic Houston Astro power type hitter that swings all or nothing. He hit a couple foul balls that were monster blasts, but they were foul yesterday. And he also can be pitched to in a case like this. Kyle Gibson just needs to locate that sinker down and away and have him roll over a little ground ball.
Missing ball 1. 215 at bats for Singleton. 85 strikeouts. I mean, it's almost the toss of the coin as to whether he's going to strike out or not. And Gibson misses again, 2-0. We've got Carter, who's already struck out 125 times, Castro 115 times, Springer 114 times. Dominguez may get there today. He's got 97. And this guy's played 2 months worth of full-time at bats, 215 at bats, and he's already at 85.
Kyle being very careful with John Singleton this at bat, falling behind. Now he's in a hitter's count.
3-0. Fly ball left center field. And it's Nunez with the catch. Singleton green lighted, of course. Nothing to lose. And he flies out to end the inning. And each team stranding a couple of singles in the first inning. Twins will send up Eduardo Nunez, Oswaldo Arcia, and Eric Fryer. Twins getting some 2-out hits. Astros getting a leadoff single and 1-out single. Nunez getting the start in left field. The regular left fielder on this road trip has been Logan Schaefer, but he has struggled mightily against left-handed pitching. So foul back. So it appears, at least for now, into the Twins radio booth. One hop, Chris Atterbury with the catch.
No glove on, though. He like Danny, he brings a glove and did not apparently need it like Michael Jackson. There's that a baby.
But it was a soft, high hop, too.
It was a cookie.
Very nice. And Nunez is called out on strike. Second strikeout for Overholser. Let's check in with Marty Gellner.
Oswaldo Arcia comes to the plate now, and he hit 2 home runs in that game last night, his first multi-homer game. I asked hitting coach Tom Brunansky about Arcia, and he said this back injury that he's been dealing with the last couple of games might actually be a blessing for him because it's forced him to cut down on his swing a little bit. Bruno said that when we go into the batting cage, he goes from 0 to 100 immediately, and he said we'd like him to back off of that a little bit. And last night, Arcia was probably swinging between 70 and 90%, according to Bruno. He said that's a good thing for him. He's actually in control more of his swing, Dick and Jack.
A blessing in disguise, perhaps?
What they're really trying to say is he swings too hard. And he doesn't need to swing that hard. And when he doesn't swing that hard, he has better results, which he did last night, a home run to left field. See how simple it is to interpret these.
3-0. Fryer on deck.
Here's the funny thing, though. Oswaldo Arcia has been swinging like that probably his whole professional career.
Probably what got him signed.
And how do you take that out of a kid? There's the swing we're talking about right there. And granted, it's in a hitter's count. You might as well take a rip at one. But if you shorten it down a little bit, instead of trying to hit it in the upper deck, just maybe hit it off the wall, it'll probably go in the upper deck. He's got that kind of power.
3-1. High and deep to left again. Retreating is Grossman. But now coming in to make a catch on the track. He nearly hit it where he hit it last night. 2 down. Time now to tweet a photo using #NorthFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in a game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Eric Fryer, the catcher, will hit with 2 gone in the second. And a strike. Fryer's done just fine as a backup catcher. He's shown extraordinary blocking skills behind the plate. Better than average arm. And he's hitting a little bit. Strike 2.
Fred Oberholzer has thrown strikes. He's coming at the hitters. He's making them put the ball in play. Everything you want under your starting pitcher.
Inside. 1-2. In the last 10 games, as he's gotten a little more playing time, hitting over 300.
Oh, I agree with you. Eric Fryer has really done a very good job as the backup catcher, complimenting Kurt Suzuki. The two of those guys have really solidified the position behind home plate. They're both good in-game decision makers. They call good games. I don't think either pitcher would, or any pitcher on the staff would have a problem with either one of the catchers.
Roughly 3 weeks left in August, and then it might be that Josmil Pinto will get called up to get some catching time up here as well. Grounder to third, Dominguez to his left. Fires across, and it's a 1-2-3 second inning for Oberholzer. He's hoping to open up a homestand with a series win here in Houston. And Carlos Corporon will lead things off against Kyle Gibson. High and deep to right. Down the line. And it's about the 6th ball hit down the right field line that has been just foul in this series. From our vantage point here, at least my perspective, they all look like they're going to be fair.
Yeah.
But we've had 5 or 6 that have just missed that right field foul pole.
Well, that one just hooked around it. I should say in front of it. At the distance.
Just a strike, right? A long, anxiety-filled strike.
Well, they call it a loud strike. I look at this. It's just a foul ball. As long as you make your next couple pitches, it's just a foul ball.
Same as a dribbler to the first base coach, right?
Same as that little check swing off the fence in front of the dugout.
2 strikes to Corporon. Dominguez and Marisnick will follow. Pitches up. Gibson pitched around a couple of singles in the first inning. Danger of walking Singleton, but he hit a fly ball on a 3-0 pitch. And a breaking ball down and in. That's strike 3, 1 away.
And that's exactly how you redeem yourself right there. Good pitch from Kyle Gibson. The back foot slider. You see it here. Fryer sets up down and in. He just keeps it way down. Corcoran a little just too anxious.
Dominguez will follow. Stands to reason Gibson, barring injury, should make another 8-9 starts after tonight's start. Today's start. So he should finish the season, hopefully, in the neighborhood of 200 innings pitched on the season. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Last year he had his workload crimped because it was his first year coming back from Tommy John surgery. 1-1. Just missing the inside corner. Second 3-ball count. It's 3-1.
Kyle's been very close with a couple of those sinkers down and in, just missing off the plate. And I guess if you're going to miss, you want to miss off the plate. You'd like to have the hitter offer at it.
Chopper foul. Between innings, I was doing some quick homework for some of the guys that are in the lineup that the Astros hope project to be everyday players, and the strikeout totals are just incredible. There's 7 guys that project, some of them with very much over 100, but at least triple digits in strikeouts. Dominguez, one of them, 3-2, and he strikes out. And for Dominguez, his 98th strikeout. 2 down. That'll bring up Marisnick, whose sample size is too small for me to do my math. He's done very well, though, in this series.
He has had an outstanding series for Houston. You see the numbers there. And he's an exciting ball player. For both of us, sample size, but he's obviously a good athlete. He can run. Very good defender in center, now in right field today.
Gibson starts him with a breaking ball and a swinging strike.
He's driven the ball almost every one of those 6 hits. None of them have been just little loopers. He's hit the ball hard.
Just 42 at bats with Astros. That's to the backstop.
Here's what I've got in the lineup today for guys who've played quite a bit for the Astros. Corcoran with 100 strikeouts. This is based on 500 at bats. Dominguez 110, Fowler 110, Gonzalez 110, Grossman 150, Carter 190, and Singleton 210. They're all in the lineup today. Mauer with a diving catch to take a hit away and end the inning. Mauer playing well off the bag and a diving snag for the third out. We've seen him feel more comfortable playing well off the bag. And look, he's about 40 feet off the bag for this line drive.
Yeah, they had the shift on, and first of all, a great play right there. He really had to shuffle his feet quickly and make a flat-out belly flop dive. He got to the ball. Might be a great indication how his oblique's feeling. You don't just dive for a ball and extend your arm like that and then land on your midsection and not feel something. So it looks to me like Joe's fine again.
As he was transitioning to be a first baseman in spring training and early in the season, the ball rocketed to center, but right at Fowler, one away. It was hard to get the Twins, or for the Twins to get Mauer to play off the line. He wanted to make sure he had time to get to the bag in the event of a ground ball. Target Field's become the top choice for families throughout Twins territory for all kinds of special occasions and commemorations. Groups of 25 or more qualify for special ticket discounts and can reserve certain seats without a deposit. So organize your family group outing at Target Field by calling 800-33-TWINS. The ball hit to center. Santana is aboard. You can go to twinsbaseball.com/groups as well. Third single for the Twins. Santana, unlike Mauer and Vargas, a stolen base candidate. And we'll see if he can get a read on left-hander Brett Oberholzer. Santana thrown out here the other night.
Well, with
by
that
Jason Castro.
With that hit, Danny Santana has gotten hit in every game in this series except the first game in Oakland against John Lester. He just finds a way to get on base.
Looking across at Scott Alger. And a throw over. Santana 10 for 13 in stolen bases.
One of those putouts was in the game the other day. Jason Castro threw a perfect strike down there and caught him stealing.
1-1 to Dozier.
1-1. Hit hard to center. Fowler going back, backpedaling, and he's there for the catch. And Fowler with a strong arm gets it back in quickly. So 3 well-hit balls here. Escobar lining out to Fowler in center. Santana with a base hit to center, and Dozier lining out to the center fielder. That'll bring up Mauer. Singled in the first inning to extend his hitting streak, but a milestone hit for Mauer, his 1,500th career hit. See if he can get another one here. Joe is 31 years old. And strike one.
Only about 3,500 away from Pete Rose.
Got his first hit 10 years ago. Got 107 at bats and 33 hits back in 2004. That ball kicks away, and Santana will advance into scoring position on a wild pitch. Of course, it all depends on how long Joe wants to play. But I would think it's reasonable to imagine him playing another 8, 9, 10 years if he wanted to pick up another 1,500 hits.
Well, health being the biggest issue for Joe Mauer. Whether or not he can get the at-bats necessary.
Off the outside corner, the move out from behind the plate was done to keep him on the field and to lengthen his career. Two and one to Mauer, a chance to drive in the game's first run. Fouled away. Picked up as many as 191 hits in a season.
Well, for quite some time, Joe was penciled in as the number 2 guy in the lineup. Now at number 3, you're going to get more opportunities to pick up runs in scoring position. And Joe's one of those guys that needs to start doing that. If the Twins are going to improve long term, he's going to have to start doing more of that.
The left center field and deep. Fowler tracking it and making the catch on the warning track. The Twins hit some balls hard in the third, but they leave Santana at second, still no score. North is presented by Century Link, your link to what's next. By Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealers today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here.
So far, no walks for Kyle Gibson. A couple of singles that were left aboard. Bottom of the third, no score. Marwin Gonzalez, the number 9 batter, will lead things off for Houston. First pitch strike. 5 of the 9 batters have seen a first pitch strike from Gibson.
Gonzalez had a pretty good day yesterday, getting a couple base hits, scoring 2 of their 9 runs. 10 runs, excuse me.
Bounce to the right side. Just the second ground ball out for Gibson. 1 down. Back to the top of the order and Robbie Grossman. Saturday, MLB on Fox Sports 1 returns with a doubleheader. Derek Jeter and the Yankees taking on the Rays, and Matt Holliday and the Cardinals square off against the Padres. Coverage beginning at 2:30 Central on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And then, of course, the Twins and the Royals right here on Fox Sports North starting at 5:30. Nice long homestand for the Twins and their fans. Starting Friday night, Josh Willingham and the Royals will come to town for a 4-game wraparound series ending Monday night. And 3 with the Indians, and then 4 games with the Tigers. Remembering that Saturday it's a split doubleheader. Short center, Santana breaking across, now coming in, makes the catch, 2 down. On this, your last Twins telecast of 2014, Jack Morris, I'm going to let you handle the Carsoup.com trivia question all by yourself. You're flying solo here today. I'm going to be, as I normally am, of no help to you at all.
Who was the last Houston player to win a league batting championship? How about the guy that's probably going to go into the Hall of Fame next year, Craig Biggio?
Okay.
Oh, you know what? How about Lance Berkman, too?
Okay.
Or maybe no one. I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to need a lifeline.
Don't look at me. You're on your own.
You're not going to help me?
I'm not going to help.
All right.
Here's Jose Altuve. A timely question, because Altuve might very well win one here. He has had a sensational year. Had a chance to talk with him a little bit yesterday about his all-star experience at Target Field. And he said it was wonderful. He did concede, though, that in his first all-star game in Kansas City 2 years earlier, he was really nervous. He got an at-bat, and he was standing in the box, and he was trembling almost because he was in an all-star game for the first time. He had a chance. The ball grounded. Great stop by Plouffe from his knees. What a play by Trevor Plouffe.
They're going to hold him on the field. I'm not convinced that he got him. And obviously Bo Porter is going to come out and buy some time. I got to believe they're going to at least review this one. I thought he was safe. We'll see. We get to see the first look here. Great play by Trevor Plouffe. Now that they slow it down, we might be able to see it.
Oh, I don't know. They are challenging it. It looked like his foot was on the bag before the ball hit Mauer's glove. A tremendous play by Plouffe. And I think it'll be overruled. It was a tough play for Mauer. We've talked a couple of times this year how first baseman now really, because of the replay and the challenges, first basemen really have to get out and stretch as far as they can because of all the bang plays we've had. That was a tough one for Mauer to come out and stretch on because it was a short hop throw.
It's just literally a fraction of an inch. They're showing it on the big screen here at Minute Maid Park. And it appears that with maybe an inch from the back of the pocket, Altuve put his glove down. But again, it's like the one we had last night. It is almost exactly the same time. And my whole contention, argument, whatever it is that the rule states that time goes to the runner.
That's a heck of a play by
It
Plouffe.
really is a great play by Trevor. And an accurate throw. He has to one-hop it.
We'll see whether the guy on the left gets a hit. or the guy on the right gets a web jab.
Clear and convincing evidence to overrule the call. That's what it needs to be. And it's up to 4 knuckleheads in New York that are umpires themselves.
They call him out. So Plouffe gets a tremendous play on a speedy runner to close out the Astros in the 3rd. Catch the ball and take a double away from Altuve is one thing, but then from his knees firing across and getting a speedy runner, quite a play to end the inning. Now Kenny Vargas, who singled his first time up. The home run power so far has come from the left side. Everybody who's watched him develop, and Vargas himself says he's just as good a hitter from the right side as the left, just as powerful.
From what I have seen, I think he is better from the right side. And it's just an observation that I've seen. It. The numbers don't verify that yet.
Batting average, it's been about the same. He just happens to have hit a couple of home runs from the other side. Swing and a miss. He strikes out here in the 4th, 1 down. I'll bring up Plouffe. How many times you see a guy makes a great play and he bats second the next inning. No matter the occasion, Target Field is the Twins territory headquarters to entertain groups of 25 or more. Might be a family celebration, a church outing, or an event to raise funds for your organization. Just reserve your best guess number of seats. Pay only for the ones you need. Find out more by visiting twinsbaseball.com or by calling 800-33-TWINS. Strike 1 to Plouffe. Went after the first pitch he saw in the first inning with runners at 1st and 3rd and 2 down. Hit a fly ball to right. Now he hits one to his high school adversary Dominguez, 2 down.
Oberholzer's just really settled in. He's doing a great job of mixing his pitches, changing speeds, in and out, up and down. And a lot of first pitch strikes, 11 out of 14. So he's doing everything they want him to do so far.
Nunez called out on strikes his first time up. Fouled back.
Another first pitch strike.
Popped up. Backing out of play. Chris Atterbury hoping for another carom. And he got one, but it bounced down below. 2 strikes to the Twins left fielder. And he swings over a breaking ball. A strikeout, another 1-2-3 inning for Oberholzer. No score here in Houston. Stay tuned for this important message from Mesh Besher and Spence. No damage done in the run department. Cincinnati's set down now 8 in a row. Our farmland. What's cooking? The designated hitter for the Astros, Chris Carter, with 28 home runs, most among DHs. In that sense, I guess the Astros, with Carter, taking advantage of the switch from the National League to the American League. Carter doesn't have to play a position. Not hitting for a high average.
So when he was with Oakland, he was going to be that guy that he's starting to become here in Houston. He was that guy that was going to hit some home runs, and they gave him so many opportunities, and he was just having such a tough time even making contact. When he did hit one, it would go a long way.
Breaking ball, 2-1.
But it's amazing to me that a team sees that, yeah, this kid's got that potential. It might be a while, but we're going to be patient with him. And now Houston is starting to reap some of the benefits of their patience with Chris Carter.
Still a lot of swings and misses. 2-2 the count. Anytime you're on a pace over 500 at bats to strike out 190 times and you won't lead your team. And
that's a good pitch.
That sinker down and in, and Carter really had no chance. 1 away.
That's where Kyle Gibson needs to locate that ball, especially when he's ahead in the count. We talked about how Carter will swing. This ball just ties him up, down and in.
Where the pitches were, all 5 of them in off the plate.
Yeah.
1 down. Fowler, the batter, hit a fly ball to Santana his first time up. And he goes inside to Fowler and gets a foul ball. Strike 1.
For the kids that are want to be future pitchers, we're always talking about establishing inside to open up the outside part of the plate. Kyle Gibson's doing a good job of that today. Left-handers, he's pounding the ball in with his breaking ball. A lot of back foot sliders. Hitters swinging over the top of it. Fowler just did in the previous pitch.
And now down and in, 2-1.
That pitch right there served a purpose. He moved his feet. He had to get out of the way a little bit. Hitters really don't appreciate that too much. They want to be comfortable. They want to be able to jump out over the plate, hit that ball on the outer half.
3-1. Gibson hasn't walked anybody. He's had 3 3-ball counts. Singleton will hit next. And he missed high. Fowler reaching with a 1-out walk. Set your compass due north Thursday nights on Fox Sports North. Bill Shirk and Laura Schara take a look at the stories and adventures of outdoor enthusiasts. Jack Morris, you're an outdoor enthusiast.
I watch the show a lot.
On the upper Midwest, do North Outdoors Thursday at 6:30, only on Fox Sports North. Here's Singleton. Singleton hit a fly ball to left on a 3-0 pitch. Astros had a couple of runners aboard with 2 out. Bo Porter cut him loose. Let's play at first. And Singleton ended the inning.
Right here is where Kyle's got to regroup. He's given up his first walk of the game. He's in the 4th inning. This is where he cannot let the game get out of hand. The guy across the field is pitching a whale of a game himself. You want to keep your team right in it. Do not let them score first.
High and deep down the left field line. And Nunez. A fair ball, and he didn't catch it. Nunez got there, it appeared, and then did not catch the ball. First and second with 1 away.
We saw him disappear into the corner. And I'm going to have to watch the replay to actually see what had happened. He had it in his glove and just dropped the ball. And they're going to give him a hit.
No, it's got to be an error.
No, it's an error.
So an error on Nunez. First and second, 1 down, and Corporon the batter.
Well, now Kyle Gibson's going to have to pick up his teammate. They have to roll a double play here.
Something he's done a lot of. Got 15 ground ball double plays on the season. Missing outside, ball 1. He has gotten, however, most of his outs through the air in today's game. 3 ground ball outs, 1 in the first, a couple of them in the third. 1-0. To right field. And Arcia with the catch at number 2.
Big out right there. Arcia did a nice job of reacting to the ball. It was going to be one of those tough line drives that if you don't react right away, it could land in front of you. And he reacts right to the ball. Now with 2 outs, Kyle's got a little bit of breathing room. He can pitch a little finer to Dominguez. Dominguez went down on strikes his first time up.
Dominguez, one of 3 strikeout victims for Gibson on the afternoon. Popped up right side. Mauer near the bag, and foul ground ends the inning. Well, Gibson isn't getting him to hit it on the ground much, but he's pitched 4 shutout innings here this afternoon.
go into the top of the 5th inning. Twins fans, don't forget at Twins home games this summer at Target Field, bring your Circle Me signs, and if you get circled, you may find yourself in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle, where you could win $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
I'm told those are sharks because this is Shark Week.
Shark Week on the Discovery Channel.
I didn't know that, and I neglected to get you a card, so I apologize for not getting you a card on a Shark Week.
I've been watching. And there's some very interesting programs. I'm fascinated by those creatures. I don't really like swimming that much anyway, so as long as I got a harpoon or a fish and pole in my hand, I'm not worried about them.
1 strike to Arcia. A swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Arcia hit a deep fly ball to left his first time up, and last night he hit a deeper fly ball to left. Early in the game, he pulled a home run to right, just over the wall. And this. A couple rows back over the wall and left, which we are reminded is a very convenient poke down the left field line. 2 strikes to Arcia. Bringing his batting average against left-handers up to 191. Chris Parmalee, a left-hander on the bench, hitting .316 against lefties. 2 strikes. To right field. Back is Marisnik, makes the catch. 1 down.
Right there, Overholzer set up, I should say Corcoran set up inside for the left-hander, and they wanted the fastball in. You know what? Arcia hit the ball well, but he got in on him just enough to keep it off the real good part of the bat. And if he would have been able to pull his hands in just a little bit more, that ball probably would have carried out of here.
Here's Fryer. Down and away, ball 1. Fryer hit a ground ball to Dominguez the first time up. Years ago yesterday, the game of baseball stopped at a work stoppage in 1994. Where were you? You were at the tail end of your career, right? Were you in Cleveland by that time, or where were you?
I was actually in Montana. The lovely Cleveland Indians decided that because they anticipated the strike, in case there was any characters out there that may be able to file a grievance, get paid during the strike, they gave me my pink slip. And so I was basically a free agent just 2 days prior to the strike actually happening. But for the most part of the Cleveland Indians.
3-1, and then that was it for you, right? So
well, I went to spring training with the Reds, and then I retired
in
in spring training. Only 2 weeks of spring training. I just knew I wasn't going to be ready, and the thought of National League and cities I had never played in at that point in my career wasn't all that inviting to me. It's a decision I would have loved to have reconsidered.
Tapper up the line, foul. It's interesting. That's one of the reasons Rod Carew ended his career when he did. He had an offer to continue to play with the Giants, but he said, you know, I really didn't want to get to know a whole new league and all the pitchers and all that. Just a personal regret. The season just ended, and we didn't know, of course, at the time that the World Series wasn't going to be played, and there were going to be replacement players in the next spring training and all of that. Full count now to Fryer. And a softly hit 1 hopper. Gonzalez has it, throws him out, 2 down. Twins fans, if you need to replace the flip-flops you've been wearing all summer, the Twins can help. Be among the first 10,000 fans at the game Wednesday, August 20th, when the Twins take on the Cleveland Indians. Fan flip-flop night presented by the Beaches of Fort Myers and Sanibel. Call 800-33-TWINS or go to twinsbaseball.com to get tickets. There were a lot of careers, and I guess yours too, but Kent Herbeck's ended on a rather odd note. Kent caught a foul pop at the end of the final. The ball ripped down the line, and Escobar is going to get another double.
Well, there's one of the two he predicted he'd get today.
Escobar into second, hitting ninth. And there aren't too many ninth place hitters who are on the leaderboard for doubles for Escobar. That is his 32nd double of the year.
First base runner since Santana's leadoff hit, or excuse me, one out hit in the third inning. And again, you watch Eduardo Escobar out of the box. He senses the ball gets by him. He puts his head down, takes one peek, rounds first with every intention to be standing at second base.
And as Ron Gardner said, he's not really a gap-to-gap guy, but he sure does wear out the lines. A pretty exclusive group there. 32 doubles, and now Santana rolls one foul down the line. At any rate, I always felt bad for Kent because his career ended, as many did at the end of the 1994 season, with no finality. He just caught a foul pop in his last game, and we never resumed play. Everyone incorrectly, not everyone, most of us were maybe out of hope, anticipating that the season would resume, and it never did. One strike to Santana. And now a ball.
I think that was one of baseball's darker moments of modern times, not having a World Series. The other one being obviously the collusion years. But that's been kind of brushed under the rug and forgot about. In either case, it's just been great run, a very great run under Bud Selig. That baseball hasn't had any work stoppages.
Foul back, and the guy who's been largely responsible for the ownership stand from the commissioner's side, Rob Manfred, appears to be the heir apparent to Mr. Selig as he is winding up his tenure as commissioner. There's going to be a vote tomorrow for the new commissioner, and if a consensus can be reached, I think it's anticipated that Manfred is in the driver's seat. He would be the next baseball commissioner. 1-2 to Santana. 2-2. But I mean, the impact of that work stoppage was so profound.
Yeah.
The people in Montreal still maintain that that's why baseball eventually left Montreal. The Expos had a great team.
Yep, they were probably headed to the postseason for sure. Maybe the World Series. We feel like our Cleveland team would have been heading that direction ourselves.
Nubber, and that's going to be a very tough play for Gonzalez. He barehands it and holds on. Escobar to third. Santana has his second hit. He hit the first one hard, and he hardly hit the second one. And that'll bring up Dozier.
Speed is a wonderful thing. Gets by the pitcher. You see Oberholzer just stumbling a little bit. There's nothing Gonzalez could do. He did the right thing by holding it, keeping an eye on Escobar in case he rounded third too far.
Dozier hitting under 200 with men in scoring position, hoping to deliver the first clutch hit of this ball game. Struck out in the first, lined out in the third. Tony Gwynn may have hit 400 in 1994. Finished the season at 394. 1-0 to Dozier. And a strike. And the embarrassment of the replacement players the following spring training was a black eye for baseball. Dozier wraps it down the line, bobbled by Dominguez, comes up firing to get him. The Twins with 2 more hits in the 5th. Still no score here in Houston. do fans of the game, hoping the Twins can win this series 2-1 after getting thumped, pounded last night. Twins defense has been pretty good in the corner infield spots anyway. Plouffe made a great play. Mauer's made a great play. Strike one now to Marisnick. Marisnick thought he had his 7th hit of the series. He had a line drive toward right field, and Mauer playing well off the line with the Twins employing a pull shift for Marisnick. Made a diving stab. Now outside 1-1. Marisnick, Gonzalez, and Grossman in the 5th inning. This was the inning where Gibson inexplicably lost it against the A's. Lost his control. You guys talk about your release point being so critical to being able to throw the ball where you want. Something happened. He ended up walking 4 of the next 9 guys after getting the first man out in the 5th inning.
Well, in Kyle's words, he said he was trying to do too much with certain pitches. His sinker, he was probably trying to turn it over too much instead of just trusting it and throwing it, letting it go. And I totally understand that. I think that's part of what is happening to Trevor May right now. Here's a kid that's probably squeezing the ball a little too much, not really letting the ball come out of his hand. Gardy and Rick Anderson talk about that all the time.
Fastball outside, 3-2. 4-3 ball count for Gibson. He's walked 1 man. Breaking ball lifted to right center field. Arcia with the play. I think he threw him a breaking ball on 3-2 and got the out.
Got a little break there, a little hanger, but Marisnick just popped it up to right.
Sanford Health injury report. Twins are actually scoring some runs against Scott Downs, but he won't be a part of the Royal bullpen for a while. I'm not sure what a cervical facet sprain is, but it sounds like it hurts. Twins have actually scored 2 runs against him this year, the first 2 runs they've ever scored. We'll see a lot of the Royals in the next couple of weeks, and then they'll be done with them. Might not be a bad thing. The Royals had a winning streak ended last night, but as the first place team, now they are the team to beat.
Well, the Tigers lost. The Tigers are sending another rookie out there today. Their pitching staff is in trouble right now. Of course, John Lester beating the Royals last night and doing a great job again. Oakland continue to win.
The guy who's starting for the Tigers tonight is Buck Farmer, who 3 weeks ago was pitching in Class A ball. 2-0 to Gonzalez. And the tapper to Mauer. Gibson covering the bag. 2 down. And I just imagine Buck Farmer at the start of the year and what he thought his chances were of making his major league debut in an organization with Verlander, Scherzer, Cy Young Award winners, Anibal Sanchez, the reigning ERA winner, Drew Smyly, Rick Porcello, and then in the middle of the season, the Tigers acquire another Cy Young Award winner in David Price, and Soria. Buck Farmer probably never imagined that he would be making his major league debut. And here he is tonight. He'll be in Pittsburgh trying to pitch the Tigers to a much needed win.
He throws a complete game shutout. I promise you'll get another start.
2 down in the 5th. Strike 1 to Grossman.
Well, both pitchers throwing shutouts here today.
1-1. Grossman singled to right to start the ball game. Then a fly ball to Santana in center in the 3rd.
Kyle Gibson's pitch count in very good shape. Almost through 5 innings.
Down and in 2-1. Bounce to second. Dozier gets in front of it.
Gibson has a nice, easy 1-2-3 fifth inning. Gibson hasn't given up a hit since the first inning. See if the Twins can get him a run or 6 here in the 6th inning. Mauer will lead things off. He singled his first time up. Hit the ball fairly hard for an out in his 3rd inning at bat. 3, 4, and 5 batters here. Mauer, Vargas, and Plouffe. Fouled away 1 strike.
Another first pitch strike for the left-hander. Both pitchers throwing shutouts through 5, doing a great job.
Oh, and 1. 0-2. Twins with 4 singles and a double. The Astros have just 2 singles. Ball to Mauer. Haven't had a leadoff man on yet. Well, we're trying to change that here in the 6th. Pounded, foul. Houston, of course, new to the American League. Don't really know a whole lot about their history. There hasn't been much in the way of trades between these two teams. Just 3 trades between the 2 clubs. Most notable of which sent Joe Niekro to the Twins. Twins sent Mark Salas, who's now the bullpen catcher for the White Sox. 2-2 to Mauer, and a deep drive to right center field. Gone, a home run. Mauer hits his 3rd of the year, and the Twins get the first run of the game.
I had a sense in this at bat that Joe was trying to pull the ball. His approach early was not to take a strike. He swung after first fastball, fouled one off, a high fastball. And you could see that he was trying to do something with it. This time he gets the same pitch and just drives it. Turns that top hand over. That's not a single to left field swing right there.
Also wasn't an off-speed pitch that he pulled. We saw him pull a fastball last night for a base hit. And that was a fastball up and in, and he turned on it. And that's been, that hasn't been Joe's strength, turning on inside fastballs and pulling a ball. 395 feet, and now Vargas lifts a lazy fly to left. And Grossman, for the first out, makes the catch. That'll bring up Plouffe. Look at our AT&T fan photo of the game. You can tweet your photo to #NorthFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Twins hitting their 92nd home run of the year. They've given up 97. And the pitching, starting pitching, hasn't been pretty again this year, but Twins have closed the gap again this year from the wide spread between home runs hit and home runs allowed. Driven to right. Marisnik is there. Fought the lights for a while. 2 down. And it's not because the Twins are hitting a whole lot more home runs than they did last year, but they've done a better job, the pitching staff has, of keeping the ball in the ballpark. And Gibson a big part of that. He's given up a few home runs recently, but just 8 allowed on the year in over 130 innings.
There's still room for improvement from the starters, but I think they've made progress over last year. Many more games into the 6th and 7th inning for the starters.
1-0 to Nunez. Back. I was hoping to get a carom up here, but
well, the fans in front of us have a little more athletic ability. They were able to knock it down.
1-1. Earlier, the radio booth got a deflection. Strike 2, 1-2. Nunez has struck out twice, and he's had some adventures in left field. Center field, and coming in as Fowler to put it away. 3 outfield flies following a big fly from Mauer into the bullpen in right center field, and it's a 1-0 Twins lead. Annual clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us.
And by McDonald's, where right now you can score a delicious, creamy McCafe iced coffee starting at just $1.59. Kyle Gibson starts Jose Altuve with a called strike. And now ball 1-1. Altuve 0 for 2. Plouffe robbed him of a base hit in the third inning. Great stop. And from his knees, he threw across the infield on one hop to narrowly get him. Back to the mound, Gibson with a nice catch. Most of this road trip has been just fine for Gibson. He started his Oakland start with 4 shutout innings and then just hit a bump on the road. And so far, now 5 1/3 innings with just 2 hits allowed here in Houston.
Well, he's finding a way to get out of a certain little hiccups. He had a walk and then an error back in the 4th inning and then retired 2 guys on fly balls. So that was a good inning for him to kind of regroup and get back into it. And then finally, Twins put a run on the board with Joe Mauer's home run.
Chris Carter 1 for 2. Driven deep to left, and Nunez is back to make a catch on the track. Carter hit that as hard as he's hit his home runs in this series, just without as much loft.
Topped it a little bit.
2 quick outs here in the 6th. And Dexter Fowler will bat.
Gibson's pitch count in great shape. Some of these early swings and outs are really helping that cause, the pitch count.
Fouled away, 1 strike.
He's throwing strikes now, and Houston are watching from the bench and realizing he's trying to get ahead. He's throwing strikes. We got to go up there swinging, and they are.
You know, for a while we were talking about Gibson and how well he's done with his really good starts and all that. He's become a really good pitcher on the road as of late. In his start in Texas at the end of June, he tied up the Rangers and won a ball game. 6 shutout innings in Seattle in his next road start. 7 shutout innings in Kansas City in his next road start. And then he pitched well enough to beat the White Sox. He actually pitched bookend games, 2 wins on that last road trip, winning in Chicago, and then had things going along just fine before things happened in the middle innings in Oakland. Now a base hit with 2 gone. Santana turns and fires. Here's the throw to second base. And Fowler is able. Now he's out. He came off the bag. And Escobar put the glove on him. He reached the bag safely and then came off the bag. And Escobar had the tag on him to end the inning after a base hit.
Twins up 1-0.
Kyle Gibson's had 3 strikeouts, 6 scoreless innings. Doing a good job of maintaining his maintenance. There's Joe Mauer's first hit to continue his hit streak, and there's the home run to put the Twins on top. Leadoff home run in the top of the 6th inning.
Fowler given credit for a single and thrown out at second. 8-6. He went in with a feet first slide, but then popped up off the bag while Escobar was applying the tag. Ball 1 to Arcia. And now strike 1. Arcia, Fryer, and Escobar, bottom third of the Twins lineup here in the 7th. Out in front. 1 and 2. Chopper up the right side. Easy play for Singleton, 1 away. Now on FoxSportsNorth.com, how Trevor May's relief appearance last night affects the Twins' rotation. Gopher starting to use unique technology to monitor player workload, and you can get the latest from Vikings training camp in Mankato. Ricky Nolasco's bullpen session goes okay. I think today he was going to throw at Target Field, and Nolasco was anticipated to move back into the rotation Friday, and the hope was May, someone's hope anyway, was that May would come back and pitch the end of that series, but then May didn't have the best of relief outings last night. For that matter, Pino didn't have a great start, so we'll let the Twins make that decision here shortly. 1 strike to Fryer. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2, or excuse me, 0 and 2. Fryer with a bouncer to third and a bouncer to short. To center. And Fowler with an easy catch. 2 down. Bring up Eduardo Escobar.
Brett Oberholzer, 95 pitches, 6 2/3 inning, 1 out away, getting through the 7th, and he may be allowed to go back out there in the hopes that Will Porter would get a run for his team.
Big swing by Escobar. If Escobar tweaks something or not, a little delay here. Corporon checking with him, and something is not right with Escobar. Gardenhire looking on. See what happens here on this next swing if he in fact takes one. Check this swing. An appeal. No swing. 1-1. Josh Fields warming up. And Escobar with a swing and a foul, and something's, well,
he's wiggling his left hand like maybe he strained a wrist. Or
16,480 the announced paid attendance. 1 and 2. Fouled away. Escobar with another double his last time up. Lined out to Fowler his first time up, so a couple of good at bats as a right-handed batter.
Fly ball right field. Marisnik comes in. And it's a 1-2-3 top of the 7th inning.
One to nothing. The Minnesota Twins want you to know that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
1-0 ball game here. Jordan Schaefer in the ball game, taking over in left for Eduardo Nunez. John Singleton will lead off the 7th against Kyle Gibson, who's given up 3 singles. Singleton reached on an error by left fielder Eduardo Nunez in the 4th. One and 0 to Singleton. Foul back. Corporon and Dominguez will follow. Up and away, 2-1.
These kind of games, Kyle Gibson, so important to get the leadoff hitter. And you got the big shift on for Singleton on the right side.
Missing inside, 3-1. Getting the leadoff guy will do many things, including keeping the bullpen quiet. As long as he keeps getting outs, he won't look over his shoulder and see anybody in the Twins bullpen. At least here in the 7th. 3-1. And he walked him. A leadoff walk, and that might activate the bullpen. Let's check in with Marty Gellner.
Guys, those walks are the thing that irritate Gibson and most pitchers alike the most. He was really frustrated with his last outing in Oakland when he had 5 walks. Gibson actually said he was embarrassed by that. So when he was talking about this start, he said that he was really trying to tone that number down, plus go out there and string a few together. He said not just today. He wanted to go at least 6 to 7 innings in this start today, but that he wanted to string a few together and get things rolling towards the end of the season. So he's not just thinking one start. He's thinking a few down the road as well, Dick and Jack.
See what happens here now with Singleton at first, Corporon at the plate. Twins playing the infield back here, not anticipating a bunt. The ball popped up down the left field line, and Schaefer has to drift back into the seats. Twins don't bunt much. They have just 15 sacrifice bunts, and the Astros have even fewer, just 12.
Well, the Marnies point there, you look at the pitch count, 74 pitches. That is as good as anybody can expect. Kyle's already gotten through 6 innings. He's got to be thinking 8 innings right here. Shut him down through 8, turn it over to your closer to pitch the 9th. But it all starts with early outs to walk the leadoff man. You put yourself in a bind now.
1 strike. Gibson today has gotten most of his outs through the air, not on the ground. Well, for Corcoran to hit a ground ball to Dozier here. Singleton 1 steal, 3 tries.
Porter would like to figure out a way to get Singleton down to second. The hit and run might be part of the scenario if Corcoran can make contact.
Base hit, or liner to left, and it is down for a hit. Schaefer will get it back into the infield quickly. A walk, now a single. The tying runs at second with nobody out. Time for the 3 words kids don't want to hear just quite yet. Back to school, and it's back to school weekend at Target Field next weekend. August 15th, 16th, and 17th. The Twins hosting the Royals, and during each game, 5,000 fans, 14 and under, will pick up a cool magnet board presented by Target. Visit twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. Matt Dominguez, with the Astros threatening here in the 7th. Missing the inside corner, ball 1. Strikes presented by Carrier. Dominguez leading the team with 17 ground ball double plays.
Good time for Gibby to get 2 for the price of 1. Roll over a little ground ball.
Roller to third. Plouffe to second. Relay to first. Double play.
Just the way they drew it up right there. Now with 2 outs, you can attack Marisnick a whole lot different.
Plouffe close enough to the third base bag. He must have been tempted to try to get the out there and throw across, but he elected to go to second. You want to make sure you get 2, and you can see he was about 15 feet off away from third base. And in the time it might have taken him to get to third and throw across, maybe Dominguez quick enough to get down the line. So the sure 2 out ground ball, and now the tying run at third with 2 away. Marisnick has been a tough out for the Twins. 0 for 2 today. Breaking ball over. Strike 1.
Good slider right there on the black, knee high. First pitch strike.
Check swing. Nice block by Fryer. Twins do have a bullpen going now. Burton and Dunson are warming up. But if Gibson can get through this 7th inning with the lead, he might be given every opportunity to go through at least 8.
So see no reason why he wouldn't be. If he can get Jake Marisnick right now, got to believe he's going to take the hill to start off the 8th inning.
1-1 to Marisnick. Side 2-1.
That was a very good pitch. You could see Marisnick kind of diving out there, thinking away through 2 sliders, and then he throws that fastball in just a little too far in. But a good idea right there.
Inside again and got a foul ball. 2-2. For Gibson, he's just induced his 16th ground ball double play.
It'll be interesting to see what they decide, the pitcher and catcher decide to throw right here. I would go in with the sinker again. I think he's got a poor swing there.
Fly ball center field. Santana coming in. And that ends it. Gibson has had a couple of men on base in 3 innings here this afternoon, and he's pitched his best in those innings. .500, 60 and 60, and yet they are considered a contender. It's such a modest expectation, but any team that can hang around 500, in the immortal words of Jim Carrey, so you're saying there's a chance.
That's what they're saying.
Josh Fields facing Danny Santana, and there's strike one. Santana, Dozier, and Mauer in the 8th inning. Twins getting the only run of the game on Mauer's leadoff home run. Santana. His check swing is called. The bat ended up on the other side of where it started, but they said no swing. They did call it a strike. I beg your pardon. 0-2. Hear the Astro dugout saying, hey, he swung. Bat ended up on over his right shoulder when it started over his left shoulder. And a 2-strike hit for Santana. Another 3-hit game. 2 line drives and a number. Santana's batting average has done wonderful things here on this road trip. Breaking spring training. Of course, we didn't know how it was going to turn out, but Ron Gardner told me this guy can hit. I said, well, where are you going to play him? He said, well, maybe in center field someday. The plan was then, of course, Florimon was going to be the shortstop, but he said, this guy can hit. And he's right. By every indication, Santana can hit. Dozier squares, takes a strike.
We'll see if Brian Dozier is actually going to lay down a bunt here, try to sacrifice Santana over into scoring position.
Santana with a good steal rate. He may take off on his own, try to get there by himself without the out. 1 strike. Quick pitch almost. Fields hardly paused at all, but he got the pitch off and got strike 2 on Dozier.
Now with 2 strikes, Matt Dominguez is going back to normal depth at third base. Singleton has to hold on Santana at first.
Foul back. Came close to us.
So you think you have a chance.
I at least stood up.
See, I'm so used to knowing my range.
I was in triple threat position. You know, in basketball, you're supposed to be in with the basketball. I was in triple threat position. I could have reached forward to catch the ball. I could have ducked under the table, or I could have run out the door. I could have done any of those 3 things.
Such an admirable effort to stand up then, I guess.
1 and 2. Popped up down the right field line in foul ground, chased by Singleton, but no play. You a basketball player growing up?
I played basketball through high school. It was a very fun time in my life. I figure it was a great way to keep my legs in shape so I could play baseball.
Were you any good?
Wow. Come on, Dick.
Well, I don't know. I never saw you play.
It was high school.
All right, so you played. Were you a scorer?
My brother was a scorer. I was a defender.
Okay. So you weren't any good.
We were picked to win the state my senior year.
Is that
we got
right?
beat by Anoka.
Okay.
They had like 3 guys over 6'6". But we were okay. It was high school sports.
2 and 2 to Dozier. Deep to left. A line drive off the base of the wall. Santana flying to third. He'll be held there on a double by Dozier.
Big hit right there by Doge. Now runners at second and third. Nobody out. Joe Mauer with 2 hits already.
Probably be walked here, I would think.
Base open. See how quick Brian Dozier's swing is. Just really can pull those hands through the zone.
Mauer with a single and a home run. Stalling on the mound is Corcoran. Tony Sipp is warming up. So we'll see whether Mauer's walk.
That's one of both Porter's favorite thing to do is to delay forever. And just about the time that they're ready to deliver a pitch is when he walks out to the mound to get a guy. We'll see if that happens here.
They're going to intentionally walk Mauer.
Switching Kenny Vargas on deck so he can pick his poison there.
Mauer will fill first base with nobody out. Vargas will have a chance to break the game open. We'll see whether it's against Fields or Sipp. Fox Sports Supports is proud to support Stand Up to Cancer's 4th annual star-studded telecast. Catch the fundraiser featuring music performances and stars from film, TV, and sports in a momentous and inspiring stand against cancer September 5th at 7 Central on Fox Sports 2. Brent Strom to the mound. Vargas in his first at bat here 2 nights ago came up with the bases loaded, nobody out, and nearly hit a grand slam. He hit one of those balls down the right field line that just missed the pole. And another one of those earlier today. Vargas with a single in the first, struck out in the 4th, hit a fly ball to left in the 6th. All of those as a right-handed batter. Porter trying to
keep this a 1-0 game. Vargas trying to drive a ball hard someplace. Hit one into the upper deck here as a left-handed batter in his final at bat last night. And I've asked around here, and they say that's a semi-regular occurrence. About once a month, somebody will pop one into the second deck. Off-speed pitch taken for ball 1. That's an important take for Vargas. We've seen him a little eager at the plate, and he gets himself behind in the count or taps one weakly on a slow breaking ball.
Well, the word's going to get out if he continues to offer at those kind of pitches. So, yeah, that was a very important take for him.
Fastball taken for ball 2. Appeal to third base umpire Bill Welke, but no swing. He's not grinning, but you couldn't blame him if he was. Bases loaded, nobody out. There's the check swing. And a very favorable hitter's count here, 2-0. And a step off.
Well, here's the situation. You cannot let a fastball down the middle beat you. But it better, if it's going to be a breaking ball, you better like what you see. It better be up in the zone.
Fastball fouled away. 95. Plenty of fastball there, but last night Vargas hit a 98-mile-per-hour fastball into the upper tank.
Just a powerful, quick swing right there. He could use one of those right now.
2-1 to Kenny Vargas. A fastball and a swinging strike 2.
Tough to lay off that pitch. Ball about letter high, maybe above letter high. But you see it so well, you just never get your hands on top of the ball.
See if he gets a breaking ball down and in here.
Right back upstairs.
Now it's 3-2. This is just his 50th at bat, if in fact it isn't at bat. So you don't have a book on this guy, but you got a chapter. And he's been pretty vulnerable to breaking pitches down and in. But now the count's full. Laced to the gap in left center field. Santana scores. Dozier scores. Mauer to second, and Vargas with a 2-run single. It's 3-0 Twins.
It's really good to see a young hitter coming up and being able to produce in big situations like that. This has been a well-pitched game from both sides. The Twins finally breaking through in this inning with a leadoff single, then a double. They walk Joe Mauer and a big hit by Kenny Vargas. Just being patient, trusting his hands. He's not trying to do too much there. Just a quiet swing, but a line drive hit right over the shortstop's head, and that drives in 2 Twins runners.
That was a pretty short, compact swing for a guy as big as he is. In a big spot with the bases loaded. Now 3-0, and here's Plouffe, 0 for 3 on the day. Down the middle of strike.
That just gives Kyle Gibson so much more breathing room. A 1-run lead versus a 3-run lead. Nobody out, still a chance to add on.
Digs it out, 1-1. Santana started it with his 3rd hit. Dozier with a good at bat and a double. Mauer intentionally walked. And now Vargas. One and 2. Dozier scoring another run, extending his major league lead.
Well, he wanted 100. That was the goal.
Might have that by Labor Day.
Yeah, that's the goal that he set with his hitting coach.
And Plouffe chases a high fastball. 1 away. Bring up Schaefer.
Bernansky challenged Ryan Dozier, saying, why don't you try that? You can do that.
Bo Porter is going to make a pitching change here with the left-hand hitting Schaefer inserted for defensive purposes for Nunez. And now Sipp will probably get his chance here. Twins have added 2 more. They've got 2 more on base with 1 out in the 8th. Thanks to Kenny Vargas's 2-run, and I underscore this, opposite field single. We've seen the power to right field as a left-handed batter, and he got a couple of awfully big runs batted in going to the opposite field. Now lefty against lefty with Jordan Schaefer facing Tony Sipp.
Jordan Fish Schaefer having a tough time against left-handers. That's why Bo Porter brings in his left-hander, Tony Sipp, his 40th game. I do want to add to what you were just saying about Kenny Vargas's at-bat. That may be his best at-bat he's had all year for the Twins. He took a tough pitch that he typically offers at ball 1, and then he takes a fastball that was a good sinking fastball right after that, which is a typical pitch that most hitters like him would like to swing at. Ball 2, he sets himself up for a very good pitcher's count, and then to get the hit, he shortens up and just puts on a very good swing, keeps his head still, and just uses his hands, not trying to drive the ball out of the ballpark, picks up 2 RBIs. That was just a great at-bat.
And now Schaefer with runners at first and third and 1 away. Schaefer's really struggled against lefties to the point where on his own in Oakland, he thought he'd drop down a squeeze bunt. And it took everyone by surprise, including Eduardo Nunez, the runner at third. Dominguez creeping in at third base. And there it is, bunted in the air, 2 down. Schaefer has been a new player to the Twins, and he has proven so far to not be a good bunter at all.
Again, he's bunting on his own right there. There's not going to be a play like that in this situation. Sipp throws a ball up and in. There's not a whole lot you can do except take that pitch. But game sometimes speeds up on players, and he probably should have pulled the bat back, faked the bunt. Easier said than done sometimes.
He's now 1 for 20 against left-handers, which is why the thought of a bunt would enter your mind, but he did not get a good pitch to bunt and ended up popping it up. Here's Arcia, ball 1. Get that runner in from third with less than 2 out. Now Arcia is going to have to get it done with 2 out.
Arcia with the 2 home runs in yesterday's game, pick up another RBI right here at this at bat. Hitless so far today.
To the right field corner, foul about 5 feet. And again, Arcia doing a little bit better against lefties, although Oberholzer held him to an 0 for 3. Arcia did hit one ball hard. .183 with the 0 for 3 today. And a lot of strikeouts. He's strikeout prone anyway, but at least Arcia today has put the ball in play 3 times against a lefty. Fastball taken for a strike.
Now Tony Sipp has the pitch that can give Oswaldo Arcia trouble here. With 2 strikes, he can drop down a little bit and throw that sweeping slider. And I'm sure that's what they're going to go to right here. See if Arcia can stay on the ball or just fans at it.
Struck him out. Well, the Twins get the first 4 batters on base, scoring a couple of runs, and make it a 3-0 ball game. Thank you, Tom Hanneman. You're absolutely right. It's been a really good start for Kyle Gibson. Let's see if he can make it a really good finish as he begins the 8th inning here. First pitch up and away to the number 9 batter, Marwin Gonzalez. This, by the way, the 9th time this year in a start Gibson's given the Twins at least 6 shutout innings. Appeared he was on his way to one of those starts in Oakland, and then everything kind of fell apart in the middle innings. But he's done this before.
Well, he's gotten through a couple innings today where he had 2 base runners and still got out of it without a run scored. So he's worked out of a couple jams, and he's also had a few quick innings.
Gonzalez tried to bunt. He didn't. It looked like it was almost a strike. It was caught by Fryer. 2-1. Gonzalez, Grossman, and Altuve. Fouled away. 2-2. It's really when you determine how good a starter's done. It's not the 1, 2, 3 innings. That's, I mean, everybody can handle those well, but it's when guys get on base.
Having a different gear.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it's about. Different mindset.
Tampa right side. Mauer gets a chest high hop. He'll take it himself. One away. With Gibson sailing into the 8th inning, let's get caught up.
It's all been Twins. 3-0. Started with Joe Mauer's home run to lead off the 6th inning. Put the Twins on the board 1-0. And then with bases loaded in the 8th inning, Kenny Vargas delivers a key single to left, scoring 2 runs. Danny Santana and Brian Dozier. And right now a 3-run lead for Kyle Gibson, who's pitched 7 shutout innings.
One down, and now Grossman single to start the game, got as far as second base. Strike called on the inside corner. In 4 of the 7 innings, Gibson's faced just 3 batters. Now it's a little deceiving because Fowler singled and was thrown out at second base to end the inning, 1-1. Gibson had a start, his 3rd start of the year at home against Toronto. 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed. And another one called on the inside corner. Grossman goes for a walk. Gibson never leaving the rubber. 1-2. Never foul.
Took a little off that pitch right there. Grossman out in front of it. That's something Kyle's done a pretty good job of also today. He's located his 4-seam fastball on the inner part of the plate, both to left-handers and right-handers. He's thrown the good sinker, mostly in on right-handers, and then the breaking ball in on left-handers, down and in the back foot.
1-2. Breaking ball got him looking. Great pitch by Gibson.
Grossman knew it.
2 away in the 8th.
He just froze him here, kind of caught him in between. Setting up inside, throws a slider. Bingo, right there. 4th strikeout for Kyle.
All right, let's see how you did on the carsoup.com trivia question with Altuve coming up. Berkman had Bagwell had a great year in 1994, and it's never happened.
Well, that was part of my guess too.
I think in your stammering and throwing out a bunch of different names, in essence, you were saying, I don't think it's ever happened. I think that's what you were saying.
I like the way you're thinking.
Maybe Altuve this year. 1 strike to Altuve. Held hitless today. Thanks largely to Trevor Plouffe. It turned in a great play on him to wrap up the 3rd inning. Dug out by Fryer. Astros were the Colt 45s, came into existence in '62 along with the New York Mets. Right called, 1-2.
Home plate umpire James Hoy, he's been consistent. Early on, he's shown that he will call that inside fastball. He'll call the letter high fastball.
Down the line, foul.
There's a pitch that makes a difference with runs scored. He's ahead in the count. He's got 2 outs in the inning, and he pretty much hangs a breaking ball. You see Kyle Gibson's pitch count by innings, all very good.
1-2.
You're more aggressive with a 3-run lead than you are with a 1-run lead.
Fouled away.
Almost daring the hitter to hit the ball in play. And sometimes that's the best attitude to have, because 7 out of 10 times the best hitters in the game get themselves out.
Fiend and Dunsing staying loose.
Well, I'm sorry, Dick. I was just going to say that's only in case Kyle has trouble this inning. Got to believe Glenn Perkins will pitch the 9th.
Trying to finish the 8th inning for the 3rd time in his career.
Good sinker right there.
Pitch number 99 for Gibson.
Fastball away.
Breaking ball tapped to Plouffe, firing on the run. Safe at first. Altuve, who had a hit taken away by Plouffe in the third inning. Hustles out an infield hit here in the eighth.
That just shows how good Jose Altuve is. Kyle Gibson makes a great pitch. He should be in the dugout right now. Trevor Plouffe does everything he can to make a play on this. Gets rid of the ball quickly. He has to. But look at the hustle by that second baseman, all-star second baseman for the Astros. He just willed that to happen. Great hustle. No argument from Ron Gardenhire.
Now Carter, a single, a strikeout, and a lineout. He sent Nunez to the warning track to catch a line drive his last time up. Swing and a miss. The foul balls in Altuve's at bat, and the extra batter, at least one here in the eighth inning, might be all it takes to get Gibson out of the game after 8 innings. As you said, Perkins likely to pitch the ninth. One strike. And Fryer can't get enough of it to keep Altuve from scampering to second. Now pitch sending Altuve into scoring position.
Kyle's anxious. He knows the scenario here. He knows that he's got one out to get and he's out. His game's over. And Chris Carter's had some pop. He's got to be careful, but yet not too careful. Challenge him. Go after him.
Breaking ball off the outside corner.
You don't want to get too fine with this guy because you put him in a hitter's count and then you make a mistake and it's usually not a good result. So
very likely facing his last batter, I would think. 2-1.
102 pitches.
3-1. Fowler on deck, representing the tying run if he comes up this inning.
And that's another reason to go after Carter. You don't want to bring the tying run up to the plate. Make this guy hit the ball.
Altuve scratch hit with 2 outs and 2 strikes. He's given the Astros a 2-out threat. Chopped foul, 3-2. Gibson, after a start in Oakland where he uncharacteristically walked 5, season high, career high for Gibson, has walked only 2 so far here today. So 6 3-ball counts. Full count to Chris Carter. To short center, down for a hit, a bloop single, and the Astros get a run, and that very likely will be the end of the day for Kyle Gibson, right off the end of the bat.
That's tough luck right there. Kyle made a good pitch. Carter just threw the bat at it, literally just flung the bat out there. It hit the bat, finds a hole, and it keeps Kyle Gibson from throwing 8 shutout innings.
A chopper in front of Plouffe, a flare in front of Schaefer, and the Astros will get the tying run to the plate against Casey Fiend. complete game, but a long 8th inning here. 7 2/3 for Gibson. He's given up a run. And then a scratch hit by Altuve. And a flare into left by Carter. And just like that, the Astros will get Dexter Fowler to the plate, representing the tying run.
Casey Fiend needs to get one out, a big out right here. The guy at the plate, Dexter Fowler. The 9th inning will belong to Glenn Perkins, hopefully for a save opportunity.
Fowler singled his last time up. Big swing and a miss. Fowler, a switch hitter. 6 home runs, 4 of them from this side of the plate. Off the plate, 1-1. In his first game back after an extended stint on the disabled list. Porter not shy about it. Put him back in the lineup. Put him in the cleanup spot for the first time this year. 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2. Fowler, granted it was with the Rockies with half his games at Coors Field, but a few years ago he had 35 home runs. So he's the guy the Astros want at the plate here in the 8th inning. One and 2. Ground ball to second. Dozier has it. Fiend gets the final out. The Astros get one, but it's still a 2-run lead as we go to the 9th. Twins in front 3-1. Joe Mauer with a home run for the first run. Kenny Vargas with a 2-run single in the 8th. Things have been set up well here for the Twins to come out of Houston with a 2-1 series win and head home after a 3-4 road trip. Chad Qualls comes out of the Houston bullpen to pitch to the Twins in the 9th.
He's been used a lot by Bo Porter. 46th game. Really good ERA, 3.38. Very good strikeout to walk ratio.
Eric Fryer looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3. Inside, ball 1. Fryer, Escobar, and Santana. Up the middle, Altuve knocks it down, picks it up, fine, he won't fire. It'll be a hit for Fryer. A rocket nearly grabbed by Altuve in short center field.
The Astros have done a very good job of positioning their defenders. You see where Altuve's playing, shaded right up the middle. He gets his glove on the ball, but it's going to be ruled a hit, which it should be.
See what Escobar does here, a double in 3 trips. The bunt back to the mound. Walls looks at second, fires to first, and Escobar sacrifices Fryer into scoring position. Day off tomorrow for the Twins, and then a century link to what's next. Danny Duffy going against a starting pitcher to be announced.
The Headless Horseman.
It might be Ricky Nolasco. We'll have to wait and see. Start of a what was a 10-game homestand to now an 11-game homestand with that split doubleheader against the Tigers. Here's Santana. Already 3 hits on the day, a run scored. Pretty good series, 7 for 13 for the rookie. Hits when he hits the ball hard. He gets hits when he doesn't hit the ball hard. Bottom line is he gets a lot of hits. And there's another one, a 4-hit ball game. Fryer will be held at third. Santana with a sharp ground ball through the 5.5 hole. First and third, one down for Dozier.
Hey, and he's even smiling. What a day again for Danny Santana. Just a fun player to watch.
We've been told now that Danny Santana will move to the infield sometime in the next homestand. We were told it was going to be sometime on this road trip, but the options haven't been real favorable for that. So we'll see what happens in the homestand. Santana figures to get some time at short, and Santana took off with Qualls almost ignoring him, and it'll be a stolen base. Standing up. 1 strike to Dozier. One and one.
Brian put on a very good swing his last at bat, doubling off the left field wall. It's led up to him scoring the third run of this game, second run of the inning.
Sharply hit, and the throw comes home, and Fryer tagged out. Nice pickup by Gonzalez at short. First and second, one down, and Fryer had to try to score with a slide, but also miss Dozier's bat.
That's called a contact play. The runner at third is going on contact. Ball's hit sharply right at Gonzalez at short, and he does a great job of picking the ball and then just throwing a strike to his catcher. Corcoran given a lane to the runner, the base runner Fryer, and he was dead.
And now Mauer will hit with 2 on and 2 out. Santana stayed at second base. Or with the 2 for 3 day going. Pulling both hits, a single to right. A home run into the bullpen in right center. Strike one.
Actually, his first hit was to left field. An opposite field single to right came last night. The home run came on a fastball up and in. Strike two. A game where the Twins have had plenty of scoring opportunities, have not hit well with runners in scoring position. The only clutch hit was Vargas's hit, driving in 2 runs in the 8th. And now those 2 runs, the margin in the game. Inside, 1 and 2. Twins have done a lot of scoring in the late innings. Too many times they've done their scoring when they've been behind in the game. Chop foul. We're down the other night 6-0 to Oakland. They scored 5 runs late and ended up losing 6-5. Be nice to do some of that late scoring when you're tied, or even a ball game like this where it's a close ball game, but you have the lead. One and 2. It's a wild pitch, and both runners will advance. Now that probably will result in Mauer getting walked here, I would think.
Posey.
Pass ball charged to Corcoran. Going to pitch to him. Does it surprise you at all?
Well, again, pick your poison. You've got Vargas, who just delivered 2 RBI at bat his last time up. Mauer's got an RBI with a home run.
Back to the pitcher, knocked down by Qualls. And he throws to first. The threat and inning are over. Glenn Perkins should have a 2-run lead when he takes the mound here in the bottom of the ninth. Friday, he singles in his last 4 at bats here today. And Kyle Gibson yielding to Glenn Perkins. Well, it's National Left-Handers Day, and the runs have been driven in by Mauer, a left-handed batter. Vargas was hitting left-handed when he drove in 2 runs, so it stands to reason that the Twins would get a left-hander on the mound.
National Left-Handers Day.
You know, it was National Left-Handers Day.
How does that become a day?
I don't know. I'm not aware of a National Right-Handers Day, and I'm right-handed. I just got 3 left-handers in my family.
Oh my. Well, I could see opening day being a holiday before I could see National Left-Handers Day.
Vargas was a left-handed batter when he drove in the 2 runs.
I have to admit the left-handers have done quite well, and let's hope that the one on the mound finishes it off.
He'll face Singleton, Corporon, and Dominguez here in the 9th. Ball 1. One and 0 to Singleton. Swing a big foul back. Ever seen third base coach play out there? I mean, he's having a long chat with Bill Welke. Nowhere's near the third base coach's box. He'd have to send a carrier pigeon if he wanted to communicate something to Singleton. High fastball and a swing and a miss.
Well, see, they've already got smoke signals. He knows that he's coming out of your shoes. Just keep swinging hard. You might run into one. Run Perkins, there's no reason for him to throw a strike. Let the hitter get himself out, chase one out of the zone.
Popped up. And Fryer watches it spin back over the screen. One away with Singleton striking out. That's the final third of the season on MLB.TV Premium. Watch every out-of-market game live in true high definition on more than 400 devices. Visit twinsbaseball.com for details. Check out the nation's #1 live streaming sports service, MLB.TV Premium. One down, and here's Corporon. Ball 1. Corporon singled his last time up. Strikeout and the line out before that. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Base, find a way to get on. Come on.
Down low, 2-1.
No shift on for Corporon. Things playing straight away.
Fly ball, right field. Garcia comes in, 2 down. And that'll bring up Matt Dominguez. Dominguez 0 for 3. Get into a big double play in the 7th. The Astros had their best scoring threat after Gibson's leadoff walk. Corporon single. First and second, nobody out. Gibson got a ground ball to Plouffe, who started an around the horn double play. Missing inside, ball 1. There's the inside corner. Twins looking for win number 54 on the year against 65 losses. Hold foul. 1 and 2.
Kyle Gibson in line for win number 11. Glenn Perkins In line for save number 30.
30 saves for a team that has 54 wins is pretty good. 1-2. Bouncer to third. Plouffe has it. And the Twins have a series win here in Houston. A very well pitched ball game from Kyle Gibson here today. And the Twins will head home with a 3-4 road trip.
Probably the best overall game played by the Twins on this road trip. Very solid starting pitching. Great job from Perk in the back end of it to finish off this game. Solid defense and timely hitting. Twins played a very solid game today.
A couple of big hits from some left-handers.
On lefty day.
On lefty day, Tom Hanneman, and the Twins will split the season series with the Astros thanks to a win here today.